It's game week 26 and there are some huge and tasty fixtures that will affect the top and bottom of the table. Let's get into the predictions. Welcome to the Footy Network. Afternoon everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Footy Network. Welcome to game week 26 where you've got the likes of Man Utd, Liverpool, Newcastle, Forest, Villa, Chelsea, and then some 6-pointers as well as Everton take on Manchester United. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Footy Network if you are new here. And let's jump straight into it and let's get into the first match. The first game of the weekend is at the King Power as Leicester City will host Brentford, and Leicester are in serious trouble. 19th in the league with only one win, and that's against Spurs. Does that even count? I think they've lost 9 out of their last 10. And they're coming up against Brentford. Leicester were unlucky, you have to say, against Arsenal, holding out for 80 minutes and then capitulating in the final 10. Brentford, on the other hand, are probably on the beach right now. They just beat West Ham. They're sitting, 11th in the table. In terms of form, they've gone win-loss-win in their last 3. And their away form seems to have improved and is probably better currently than their home form. I can't see anything but an away win here. Leicester are bang in trouble. Their defence looks absolutely woeful. I'm going to go Leicester City 1, Brentford 2. And the only reason I think the scoreline stays that low is because Brentford are really playing for nothing right now. I think they're too far away to catch up for the major European places and too far ahead of the relegation battle. But do you guys agree? Let me know in the comments. Goodison Park will see the second game as Everton will host Manchester United. And this is a 6-pointer, probably more so for Manchester United than for Everton. Everton are currently sitting 14th in the league, 30 points to their name. And Manchester United, 15th. With 29 points, still yet to reach the magic 40 mark. I don't think 40 is what's needed to stay up. I think it will be about 35 points. What do you guys think? What's the magic number this season? And with Amorim now starting to be called out from the Manchester United fan base as he is being stubborn with his formation, his tactics and everything else, having lost 12? And won 4 this season, Manchester United are bang in trouble. Everton, on the other hand, under Moyes, have won 4 out of the last 5 games, undefeated in 5. That other one being that late draw against Liverpool. And you've got to say, what a cracking job Moyes is doing right now, coming back to Everton. And I'm going to back the home team. I'm going to go Everton 3, Manchester United 0. I just look at that attack at United and I don't see where the goals come from. Rasmus Højlund is one of the biggest disasters in the Premier League, and defensively they don't look that secure. This is relegation form from Manchester United, but can they survive the drop? What do you guys think? The Vitality Stadium will see the third game of the weekend as Bournemouth will host Wolves. And Bournemouth are seriously streaking right now, up to 5th in the Premier League, having won 3 out of their last 4 games, only picking up a loss to Liverpool, and have a favourable run-in coming into the business end of the season. They just dispatched of Southampton comfortably in their previous game. But Wolves didn't look too bad against Liverpool. In fact, Liverpool had no shots in that second half, and Wolves, with Cunha, will always pose a threat. Bournemouth are way higher than they should be in the league. With that Tin Pot Stadium and Tin Pot Club, I see the decline starting soon, irrespective of how poor, or how easy should I say, their few fixtures coming up are. But I don't see them losing this one. I'm going to go Bournemouth 1, Wolves 1. I think Cunha will come up with some more magic yet again. And Wolves need the points because they are far from safe right now. What do you guys think? Portman Road will see the next match as Ipswich host Tottenham in the league. And Ipswich finally put a stop to the rot after 3 or 4 defeats in a row. They were able to get a draw with Villa being down to 10 men. Delap still their main talisman right now. And can they do the double over Spurs? Yes, Spurs did beat Manchester United and is still under pressure even after winning that game. The fans were still calling him out because they looked like a championship team. And they themselves are not exactly safe from the drop, probably nearly there on 30 points and 12th in the league. But they still need a couple more wins. Can they get it is the question. I don't think it comes today. I think this weekend, I think Ipswich will do the double over Spurs. I'm going to go Ipswich 2, Tottenham 1. I just saw signs of a very weak team, even though they beat Manchester United. And Ipswich are fighting for their lives, currently holding that final relegation place. They need desperately to get 3 points on the board to have any chance of survival. So in this 6-pointer, I'm backing the home team. I could be wrong. What do you guys think? St Mary's will see Southampton hosting Brighton as these two teams need points for different reasons. Southampton needs still to get 2 more points. Can they pluck up the courage to beat or at least equal Derby's record? Surely even they can get a couple of points here. Brighton, on the other hand, have done the double over their parent club Chelsea. They beat them in the FA Cup 2-1 and then tonked them in the league by 3-0. Can Brighton make a late push for Europe, currently sitting 10th in the league? Having 2 losses and a win in their last 3, though, isn't the form you need to push forward. But can they build on that double win over Chelsea? I think this is a gimme game, isn't it? At the moment, can Southampton pluck up the morale to do anything? I don't see it. I'm going to go Southampton 1, Brighton 2. But Southampton, if you're watching, Saints fans, talk to me. Can you do it? Can you beat the Sheep's record? Please do it soon so we can all relax. The Emirates will see the next game of the weekend as Arsenal will take on West Ham. North London meets East London. And this is really do or die right now. After Liverpool dropped points to Aston Villa, Arsenal must pick up 3 points. But the pattern so far this season shows that they haven't been able to capitalise that much when Liverpool do drop points. Arteta is looking at who up front, maybe Sterling, maybe they go Moreno again up front, who knows? With that injury crisis for them, it's going to be tough. And somehow or other, I just always remember West Ham causing Arsenal problems. Harry Potter in charge now, you gotta say the manager bounce is well and truly over. They're sitting 16th in the league with no win in the last 4 and 3 of those being losses. They need to buck up at their ideas because they could find themselves sucked into that relegation zone if they're not careful. I'm gonna go Arsenal 1, West Ham 1. This has nothing to do with the team I support or the hope I have of still maybe being in a title race. No, this is because West Ham can and sometimes are Arsenal's bogey team. Do you guys agree? Craven Cottage will see the next game as Fulham host Crystal Palace in another London-ish derby. Fulham haven't beaten Forest. And now maybe thinking about those European spots. Under Marco Silva, he's got them ticking and they are a strong unit. Palace, however, have stuttered a little, taking an L to Everton in their last game, and no longer in their happy 12th position as they are down to 13th, so they must want to fight tooth and nail to get back to 12th. This is going to be a tough game. I don't think it's going to be that exciting to watch. It's not high up on my priorities to watch either. So I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go Fulham 2, Crystal Palace 2. I think on this one, I'll just catch the highlights on Match of the Day. Villa Park will host the 8th game of the weekend as Aston Villa host Chelsea. And Villa will be rampant after they cost Liverpool 2 points on Wednesday. And Chelsea are just looking lost right now. With Marcus Rashford in the fold seeming to be firing a little better, Can Villa make a late push for those Champions League positions, especially if it goes down to 5th? Currently though, they sit 9th in the league on 39 points. Only a few off those Champions League spots, but they've been too inconsistent for me this season. And every time they seem to play a Champions League game, they lose the next one. So they need to sort that out. Chelsea, on the other hand, under Maresca, are really struggling. Losing to their feeder club twice, not acceptable. Falling out of the top 4 into what are they now, 6th in the league. They've got to get their act together. And the Chelsea fans are starting to turn and divide yet again on yet another manager. I'm going for a home win here. I'm going to go Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 0. I've just got a feeling that wind beneath the sails of Villa, whenever they play one of the so-called Big Six teams, they tend to pull out a decent result. And I think there's one incoming here. St James's Park will host the main event of the weekend as Newcastle will take on Nottingham Forest. And this game is huge. Forest are sitting 3rd in the league, but they've just taken an L to Fulham because Nuno got it all wrong in terms of his changes in that game. And Newcastle held 4 to Manchester City and are currently sitting 7th and 6 points behind Forest. This is a 6-pointer at the top end of the table. If Newcastle win, they can cut the deficit down to 3. But if Forest win, it's a huge and maybe unassailable 9-point gap between them and Newcastle. And they might just still drag themselves into a title race. Ooh, how do I feel about this one? Not confident would be my answer. I'm going to go Newcastle 2, Forest 0. Yeah, just press the skip button. You didn't hear me say that. Let's move on. The Etihad in Manchester will see the final game of the weekend as Manchester City take on Liverpool. The Premier League champions versus the Premier League wannabe champions. This is huge. Manchester City thrashed Newcastle by 4 goals to 0, with Marmoush absolutely shining in that game with a hat-trick. But on the other hand, they've just crashed out in the Champions League to Real after getting taught a real lesson by those European giants. Liverpool, on the other hand, are starting to show their frailties. Remember, Liverpool have lost 6 out of 7 title challenges when they have been top at Christmas. Will this be 7 out of 8? The gap is still big to the likes of Arsenal and Forest. But if they lose here, are the cracks starting to show? Having dropped 2 points at Aston Villa on Wednesday, having taken the lead in that game, is this title race getting too much for Arne Slot, and a team starting to live rent-free in his head right now? If Liverpool lose, this could blow it wide open. Well, I'm probably overhyping it. And I'm going to go Manchester City 2, Liverpool 1. I just feel that Liverpool will start to feel the pressure, but it will require those teams just underneath them to get their acts in order and start to apply pressure from underneath. Do you think Man City can turn it around after the disappointment in Madrid? I hope so. Get your thoughts in down below. And that's your Premier League fixtures for this game weekend. If the results go the way I said, this could be one hell of a spicy week in the Premier League, with a bit of moving and shaking and gaps being closed and maybe even opened up. What do you guys agree with in those scorelines? And who do you think wins out of Manchester City and Liverpool? Let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Footy Network if you are new. We will see you on the next video. Good luck to your teams this weekend. Have a great weekend.